All right, guys, I wanted to give you a midday stock market update. Some of you are wondering why some of these stocks are falling while others are doing better. So I'm seeing a rotation out of the high flyer names into the more profitable, safer stocks. And that makes sense because we have CPI inflation tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. And remember, a lot of these high flying stocks had huge runs. They're overbought. A lot of these stocks are overbought. And that's why I said in my video yesterday with the stock market recap, for example, to be patient, wait for opportunities, wait for these stocks to come down. And once we clear through CPI inflation, if it does come in lighter than expected, then I think stocks could bounce again, okay? But just like last week, remember the day before the non-farm payrolls report, we had some selling as well, people just getting out of the way and taking risk off the table before that just in case. And we know this market has rallied quickly, guys, okay? Recovered almost back up to all-time highs. It's been a V-shaped recovery, which has shocked a lot of people, okay? And so now that's why I don't believe the upside is as much at the moment, okay? It's all about risk reward, as we know in the stock market. Now that we have ripped higher since April, right, I do believe we're due for a pause or at least some sort of consolidation or pullback, okay, at some point. So I'm going to wait patiently for these opportunities. Like I said, if we get companies with fresh positive news, you can try to play those if there's momentum, right? But for example, with Big Bear AI, they got some news this morning and the stock just went down. It didn't do anything. So you have to see the buying volume, right? And so that's a sign that stocks are getting tired and there's just rotation, like I said, right now happening into safer plays before this CPI report. But I do believe if the CPI is lighter than expected, that stocks can bounce, especially the small caps because they're more interest rate sensitive. And now with, the Treasury Department buying its own debt, that's propping up the bond market. That's why we saw like Upstart going higher, is because that worry has been put to bed for now, okay? And so, but the interest rate sensitive stocks obviously do better when inflation comes in lighter than expected. But if it comes in hotter than expected, then those are probably going to take a bigger hit. So just keep that in mind, guys. But this is that period of time. Like I said, you don't need to rush into things. Wait for opportunities to come to you. Take what the market gives you. And of course, I'll let you know when I see those opportunities. I don't want you saying you're going long on stocks after they've had an insane run. I want you to wait for a dip before buying, for example, in the Millionaire Maker portfolio, because a lot of these stocks have like doubled here recently, okay? And are at overbought status. Remember when RSI is high. So let's let them come down. It may take a bit, okay? But at some point, we'll get those opportunities to dollar cost average into the Millionaire Maker portfolio. Okay, even whether it's August, September, remember, historically it's seasonally weak months for the stock market. So we'll see what happens around that. Of course, it's going to be headline news driven, right? We got to see what happens with US and China with these tariffs. Are they going to get resolved here? There's hopes that they will, okay? But really, we got to see a breakthrough with that at this point with how much stocks have rallied. And so, but like I said, if there's fresh positive news with companies, you catch it that morning and you see some good buying volume, those are the opportunities I like to play. As you know, just for the day. I don't hold overnight now after the rally we've had. But anyways, I just do the in and out trades, as you guys know, using RSI. And if you're doing quick in and out trades, I use the 1 minute and the 5 minute time frames. And then if I'm holding longer throughout the day, again, no more than a day, then I would look at the 15-minute to the 1 hour, okay? And that will help you as well. So it just depends on your duration, how long you want to hold, okay? So that's what I'm doing personally, but just wanted to give you a little midday stock market update, guys. Have a great day.